Hello, 6th grade social studies students. It is Mrs. Lott coming to you today to help support you with your case study projects. A couple weeks ago, your teachers and I met and we talked about some of the great successes that you're having as you're researching other countries. And we also talked a little bit about how we can support you with some of the challenges that you're having. So this is the first screencast. You'll probably see 3 or maybe more where I talk with you about tips that you can go through during the inquiry process. So I'm going to show my note. This officially is Understanding Inquiry by Mrs. Lott, Part 1. So today we're going to talk about the inquiry process as well as questioning. So here's what I hope that you will be able to understand as a result of our time together. Our learning intention is I will be able to write high-quality questions that can prepare me for successful inquiry and learning. And to gauge if you're successful, we'll be able to explain the difference between a high-level and a low-level question. You'll be able to use a graphic organizer to help you practice writing questions. And you can identify keywords in your questions that will guide you to the next step of the inquiry process. So what is this thing called inquiry process? Well, let me skip over to another tab here. Whenever people wonder things and want to learn something new, there's a process that we go through. And the first is to choose a topic. Sometimes you will get to choose on your own what you're interested in, and sometimes a teacher will give you parameters or guidelines, and you get to choose within that. And that's kind of what your case study is. You maybe didn't get to choose the country or the topic, or the certain topic of the country, but you get to dig into that topic and learn more about it. So as we approach this topic, we're wondering, like, what are you interested in? What do you want to know more about? And then we're going to make a plan. This is where you formulate questions, and this is where we're really focusing on today's lesson. And then decide where can you look for your information or who can you ask. The investigation stage is really the learning part of it, and we have to ask ourselves, how are we going to keep track of what we're learning? How can you navigate your either online text or your book that's in front of you to help you find exactly what you're looking for? And then being aware, is it answering your question? And if the answer is no, we switch sources. And then finally, who's our audience? We're going to decide who to share what we learned with. Sometimes this is peers, sometimes it's our another group in our case studies, or sometimes it's teachers in the building or your own teachers. And then finally, it's important that you reflect on your learning, reflect on the process and see what you learned, and see what you can apply next time. What challenges did you have? What things were easy? How did you work through those challenges? And how can you apply what you learned to whatever the next thing you want to wonder about? So this is the entire inquiry process. Today we're really just focusing on the first 2, picking the topic and making a plan. So one thing I know is that you guys are moving into your Explorers unit, the World Explorers. I want to introduce you to a tool called a question creation chart. This can be so very helpful when you are first tackling a topic. I want you to realize that we've got all these question words. We have across the top row is, did, can, would, will, and might. And then going along the left side, we have who, what, where, when, how, and why. So a big idea I want you to wonder about right now is this question. Are all questions equal? Are they all the same? Will they get you the same amount of information? So I want to give you a moment to think about that. And now I'd like to pose this idea. Some questions, here's what I believe. Some questions are surface level questions, and when you ask a surface level question, you're going to get a surface level answer. But if you ask a really deep, big, open-ended question, you're going to get big, deep information that will help you think more about your topic and be engaged more in your topic. So this chart helps you brainstorm questions. If you put questions in the boxes up in the upper right or upper left-hand area, like who is, okay, like who is Abraham Lincoln, or who is Barack Obama, you're going to get a pretty clear-cut, straightforward answer, okay? Or what did, and then your question starts in this box using the word what from the left and did from the top, and then you finish that question. So what did someone get known for, okay? As you go farther down to the lower right, so down in this box here, okay, here, wow, how about that? Okay, down here, you're going to get really deep ideas. So we have why and we have might. Okay, so with your topics that you guys are doing, if I came up with the question, why might a country send explorers to new lands? That is a really big, deep idea, a deep question. There's lots of reasons why countries would send explorers to new places. So that type of a question is going to get you deeper learning, okay? Questions that start with how and questions that start with why are almost always going to get you to bigger ideas, and those are high quality questions. Let me switch over to show you an example of, I filled out some of this chart to give you an example of how we might brainstorm questions. You are going to be doing this with a partner in just a few moments, so please pay careful attention to how I wrote some of these questions, okay? So I have here, who is Hernan Cortez? That's a very low-level question. I can look up the answer. I can find out who he was, what country he came from, when he was born, when he died. And all that is good information, but it's pretty surface level. If I go down the chart a little bit, I have my what did. So what did Francisco Pizarro find through his travels? It's a little bit deeper. I'm going over here to the would. I have what would motivate explorers to go to new lands. So we're starting the question, why did these people actually do their job? What motivated them to see new things? Think about how now, as we're at the bottom part of the chart, how these questions are deeper and going to guide me to bigger answers. So when did explorers come to America? Okay, so I'm going to get many different answers. There wasn't just one answer. Explorers have come to America for centuries. How about this one? How did explorers travel across long distances? So now we're getting into the question about, like, how did they get here? Some of them came from very, very far away. And then this one I mentioned earlier, but this is one of the deepest level ones you can get, is a why and a might. So why might a country send explorers to new lands? Okay, so here's what I'm going to ask you to do. You are going to get a blank question chart, and you and a partner are going to put your names up at the top with your class period. I'm going to ask that you and your partner brainstorm some questions for what you're going to be working on today in your case study. I'm not exactly sure of that topic, but I would like for you and your partner to try to brainstorm, I think, five questions in the next 10 minutes or so to see which kinds of questions you can come up with. Make it a goal to try to have a couple in this easier question area, but try to get a few down in here as well. Okay, remember, the farther down you go on the left and the farther across you go over the top is going to get you to these areas, which are going to be the deepest levels of questioning. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause now, and then I will talk to you again after you've had a time to generate some questions and brainstorm together.